everyone. Welcome back to the Pretty Playbook. As you know, I'm Pretty Girl Des, the owner and creator, founder, face, all those things behind Pretty Girls Love Sports and Pretty Girls Media. And I have a very special guest on with me today. As you know, this year, my podcast is really dedicated to essentially the year of the woman. So everything that women are doing, I want to be able to highlight it and just be able to talk about it and really get to know those women that's in these spaces that a lot of people do not know about or get to talk about. And of course, y'all know I'm an ordinary girl, and I like to say I'm an ordinary girl, but I'm probably not. But I like to really get a homegirl feeling, to be able to really talk to people that I feel inspiration from, and that draws a sense of motivation for me. So my special guest today is one of those people. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself, as I always do, and then we're going to hop into our questions. So without further ado, Miss Alisha, take the floor now.
Hey everybody, my name is Alisha Lassiter. I'm the founder and CEO of Stay in the Game LLC, where we provide holistic therapy to athletes and their families. We don't just want to go and celebrate the athlete on the court and on the field. We want to do that, but we also want them to be successful in life. We care about the person behind the scenes and their families, because they play a crucial role in their success. Just a little bit about me. I serve as an outpatient therapist as well. I am a foodie. I love traveling. And I'm just all about, helping people succeed in life and being able to share my stories and testimonies to be able to help them do that.
You had me at foodie.
You had me at hello. Foodie. Yes.
Okay, so I love the fact that your platform is whatever your platform, when I say that, I mean, like, it is what it is, literally staying in the game, the holistic health. And I really am a big advocate for mental health and all things. I think last season I had 3 or 4 shows where I was just talking about mental health, because it's not talked about enough. I did 5 years in the Army when I was a behavioral health technician, so I'm all things mental health.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's one of the things that drew me in. I was like, okay, I love what she's doing here. And I don't think that enough people are talking about it. And it goes right with my platform. Like, okay, I love mental health. I love anything that has to do with overall health. And the fact that you're doing holistic health, that's something that's very new. And I don't even think that I fully understand the whole holistic side of it. So that's why I really want to dive in and start there. What made you go into the sporting world and to do holistic health while you're at it?
Okay, so I got to give a short backstory. Y'all hanging there with me, okay? So I'm from a small town called Gates County. I don't know if you hear the country twang there, but we have one stoplight. And so there, you can imagine the country, it's just sports. Pretty much it's sports, outdoor sports. And so I grew up, it was me, my dad, my brother, and my cousins, all male cousins. So I had no choice but to, just get involved in sports. It's in my blood, specifically basketball. So that's really kind of how I got into sports. It never left me. My journey is really different though. I was an art teacher, and I was good at art, and I love seeing the light bulb go off in the classroom, but I couldn't just stay there. I was like, am I that 30-year teacher? I don't know if I'm that 30-year teacher. So I was like, what am I going to do with my life at the age of 37 at the time? And so I was like, my passion for sports has never left me. And so I saw myself naturally helping people. That's what I do, even when I'm not trying. I'm just listening and just bringing things around so they can just be like, you know what? I can do this. I appreciate you. And so I just coupled my passion for sports with the individual that play in sports, and that kind of led me to pursue my master in social work, and then it just kind of took off from there.
Masters in social work. So super educated. I love when us women be like, yeah, I got this, and I got it. I got this. I feel so like such a sense of pride. So I'm like, oh, so much. So basketball is your sport of choice, because
Yes.
that's just what it is. I'm a football girly, so I'm a little bit different. So
I love football too, but I love basketball. And you
I should
blame
have
that
been
on my
calling
daddy.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I should have called you like, what am I watching? Because for the longest time when I first got into reporting for basketball, I'm like, oh, I can definitely, I can do this. I can do this. I got it. It's no problem. I'm not going to, you know. And I sat down at my very first game and I was like, oh, poop. I don't think
You can still call me if you want to. You can still
I
do.
will, because I still don't know it all. Like, I really did not know everything. Like, I was like, okay, I was in my mind, I heard the song when Drake said he did the Euro step or something. I was like, what? I was
Yeah.
like, well, what? I was like, but wait a minute, what is a Euro step? I don't even know. They might be doing it, and I don't even know what they're doing. So, oh my gosh, I learned how to read box scores for basketball, and that's how I kind of like paved my way into really being able to do my reporting stuff. I just go into doing like stats and understanding what the box score says. Because if I understand what the box score says, I think I can finagle a bagel and anything else. So
Right.
I love when I hear people that are other than football. Like, yeah, you love football, but like you really, really love basketball. So I
Yeah.
love that. Have you ever played basketball?
Intramural basketball. And I
Okay.
actually played on the tennis team. I that wasn't a part of my plan. Venus and Serena, you could thank them. I tried out, and then next thing you know, I went from a freshman playing with freshmen to playing with seniors. And so, yeah,
Wow.
it was good. It was good.
You see,
Yeah,
look, Auntie Serena, look what you do to us.
that's
You
what they
inspire us.
did. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I'm trying to get Auntie Serena her brand to sponsor me with some makeup. Can I be a content creator or something? I need some of that wind makeup that she has.
You putting
Okay,
it out there in the atmosphere. Go ahead.
right? You know, speaking into existence. Okay,
Yep.
so you have basketball, you play tennis. Did you do any other sports? Like, did you cheer? Were you a dancer?
I cheered for other people. Let's go. No, 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 no. But I left that to my friends. Left that to my friends. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So basketball player, tennis player, holistic health. So I love the fact you said you support not only the athletes on and off the court, but you support their families. How
Yeah.
did you come about, excuse me. How did you come about including the families into that? Was it something that was just naturally that just came with it? Or was it like, did you help someone? You're like, you know what? I actually think I need to help their family members too. How did that come about?
That's a great question. For me, like being a school teacher or former school teacher rather, I like to build a rapport with the parents. So I believe that the parents can get a sense of how much you care about their child, and it's not just, oh, they need to turn in their assignment. Like you
Mm.
really do care about their behavior in the building, in my classroom, and also outside of the building. It kind of starts there. And so when it came to my mindset shift, I was like, okay, well, I can't just care about the athlete and not what's going on at home at the crib as they're flying across from state to state. That has to impact them. I'm sure that the court or the field or wherever their respective sport is, it takes them to another realm where they don't have to focus on that. But when all that is said and done after a few hours, they have to return home. And I don't want them to dread it, because their environment really plays a crucial role in how they perform.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I so in so many instances you do see where family members directly affect what the athletes or even professional athletes. You know, a lot
Oh,
of the news sometimes would be like, I think Kawhi Leonard's sister was in trouble, and it was like Kawhi
mhm.
Leonard's sister, and you're like, wait a minute, hold on, the first two words you see is Kawhi Leonard. You're like, did he do
Right.
something? Because no matter what, the family is a direct reflection of you when you make it in any level, but specifically when you start to really get in the ranks of, collegiate, professional, even some high school students that are really, really big in their market, their
Right.
families do play a big part in it.
And Des, if I can add something to that, not
Yeah.
just does the family play a role in it, it's just they could be hurting, suffering, or need that extra, added perspective, from the outside looking in to help figure out how to support the athlete better, but also how the athlete can support them better. That's the thing. It is about the athlete, but I want to shift the focus. I love sports, but I want to shift the focus to it's about the individual. How do they function outside of their sport? Not just to receive support, but to give it. Like that's that holistic part. It's not just about you, which can be difficult, especially if your family looks to you for a lot of things. But sometimes a lot of athletes is not necessarily about the money. We appreciate the money, but it's not necessarily about that. They want that connection. They want to be able to, have that safe space when they leave majority of the time. Or they and check this, they may not even know what they need. So helping
Yeah.
family understand that. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I get that completely. And I just, me thinking, while you're saying all those things, like I have so many things that just like spiraling in my head that just
Mhm.
makes sense, even from a personal perspective of it. And if you have been an athlete, then you know firsthand how that could be. Sometimes, like you said, sometimes you don't know what you need, but you know you need something. And
Something.
someone to just be like, do you need this? Or have you thought
Yeah.
about this? And even talking about it from even a veteran's perspective, like from armed services, you don't know what you need until it's right in front of your face and like, oh, yeah, I think I do need that. I actually do need assistance and that help. So I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take you up on an offer. So
Okay.
so speaking of the name of your company, how did you come into that? Did it formulate out of anywhere? I have a really crazy story how my name came about, but like how did that come about?
Well, really, I was looking over a blurb that one of my friends had written. She's a graphic designer or whatnot, amongst other things. And so I was reading over a blurb or whatnot. And it included some different things that I do, with athletes, or I want to aspire to do even further, right? And so then I was reading da 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 and stay in the game, but it was stay in. And I was like, stay in the game. Stay in the game because no shade to anyone else. I didn't want therapeutic services or anything like that. I wanted something that was different. I wanted something not just mental health wise, but I wanted
Mhm.
again to include the athlete and other people. But I also didn't want it just to be mental health. I wanted to be a two-sided coin. You have the mental health part, but then you have the okay, you get an injury. I need you to get back in the game, not right away, but I need you to figure out how to stay in it. So just reading over that, I remember just popping up one night like, stay in the game, stay in the game. That's it, guys, stay in the game. And so that's really what happened. And so I was like, oh my God. It took me like months when I finally decided I want to be a business owner. That's a whole different thing in itself. So another reason I'm suited to help, not just on the, I would say, secondary education level, but collegiate, but definitely professional. It's because I know what it's like to count yourself out of the game mentally.
Mhm.
You in there, but you don't even realize you in there. And so, you have to keep that motivation going. Yes, you need a great circle, and that doesn't mean large in numbers necessarily.
Mhm.
But you also have to have the mindset of knowing, all right, you can do this. Are you really looking at this from the right perspective? You are there. Don't lose this moment because you're mentally not in the game. Like it's as simple as talking to yourself. And you probably gonna have to do it a couple times. But for me, that's kind of how it came about. Yeah. Just
Wow, it's
Jack in the
like
Box. Yeah, that's it.
it's like you just said when you was in the classroom and that light bulb just click and this is
Yeah.
pop on. It's like, oh, that's
Yeah.
it.
I
When
had an
it's over.
elementary moment. I was so happy. Like I celebrated myself.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when it happens, it's like, that's it. And it like stick with you. Like once you say it a few times and it starts to marinate a little bit, you're like, that was it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
That's
Like this.
it. Yeah.
Okay. I definitely understand. And I've been at places where it's like, I literally count myself out all the time.
Mhm.
All the time. So you saying that is like, I think
I'm
I
here to
might.
encourage you.
I need.
I'm
I
here to
need to book.
encourage
I
you.
need to book me a service or two.
I
Because
got you.
I
I got
do
you.
it all the time, and I've even talked about it on my podcast how the journey that I've been on for going to be a NFL cheerleader because I'm already a professional cheerleader, but trying to get there and just constantly just like it's the count out, and sometimes I sabotage myself. I've been places that I'm like I'm never gonna get this opportunity again because I end up sabotaging myself because I did not believe that it could happen to me or
Right,
that I was good enough for it to happen for me.
right,
So in that moment, I'm like, oh, well, if you're not good enough to do it, then like you don't need to continue to do it. And just subconsciously in the back of my mind, I go out there and I'm messing up on things that I just didn't mess up the entire 2 weeks of the process. But when it's
right,
finally go time, and I don't normally fold under pressure. But for some reason, when I get into certain rooms, especially when things I really, really want, it's like being an NFL cheerleader. I get in those rooms, and when it's time for me to just put it all out there and show them that I could do it, it
mm.
just floats out. It just floats into the air somewhere. I don't know where it goes, but it's
But
definitely
it's
in my mind,
comforting
body, and
ground.
my soul.
You definitely belong, and you know it. You know it.
Yeah, it's like I mean, because like you see people. Well, I belong when they start to change the standards a little bit, but I'm
Mhm.
not. I'm not gonna get into that. But
Okay.
when you can belong, you see yourself, you're like, I can do everything that they can do. I
Yeah.
can, the beauty is there. I'm not as small and as thin, which has always been a hump to get over. But it's
Okay.
like, the Lord made me the way that I am, and I can try to change it, but my Jamaican roots ain't going out. It ain't going nowhere. So that's just the way it is. But I do want to touch because you did say how you decided to be an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur, as you know, is very oh oh.
All right.
So getting back into talking about entrepreneurship, because you mentioned getting into entrepreneurship. And I know most people, they say that people that are entrepreneurs are sometimes crazy, we're out of our minds. But how did you go into the process of becoming an entrepreneur?
Um, well, my story is different, and I love that. I didn't want to be an entrepreneur. It wasn't a part of my plan, not at all. But I am grateful. My mentor continued to encourage me and direct me. Mentors are people who have been where you are, and they can see further than where you're going. And so it has to be a strategic, line up there. And so he continued to not just encourage me, but to instruct me to start a business because, again, we all should have that kind of wealth mindset, not just to earn, but to give on a different level. And then in the way in which society is going, it only can benefit you, So that's kind of how that came about. It was not initially there. That's another reason why I believe I'm able to be able to help others who don't necessarily see themselves in a certain realm, but I know that they can get there. It doesn't matter necessarily the environment that you came up in. The seed can be planted at any phase of life. So I think that that's really, really beneficial for those who didn't necessarily grow up in an environment where it's like business owner this and do this and invest here. Wherever you are and whatever you need, when you get on that journey, you have exactly what you need waiting for you. And so that has been what it is for me.
What is some advice that you would give to someone who is maybe looking to become an entrepreneur? Because now you are one, and I'm pretty sure you've been through a journey outside of, I know mentorship is the biggest thing, but what else would you tell a person looking to get into this type of, or any type of business, honestly?
Do a self-assessment of what it is you really believe that you can do if you never got paid for it. Know that you deserve to get paid for it and be
Mm.
willing to set your price. Okay. But prior to even getting to the money aspect, what is it that you love doing? Not just enjoy doing, but you love doing. Now, had I heard that many times before I ever thought about entrepreneurship, but I didn't equate the two. Okay. Try to see yourself beyond where you are. And I'm talking about stripping the emotion and the feeling away. What is it you enjoy doing? And so for me, now I I wanted to go to the WNBA when I was in ninth grade. That didn't happen. So I was like, oh, I mean, I had the Cynthia Cooper jersey, I had the cake, I had the basketball and all that stuff. But my thing is, don't let things that you love when you were a child die down, because majority of the time the things that we're really good at when we're a kid, they're the things that kind of push us forward in life and the things we end up pursuing. So I would say do a self-assessment to figure out what it is you actually want to do. And then if it seems quote unquote out there, nobody's done it in the area that you're in, or just like a crazy idea, that's probably what you should go after. That at least was the thing for me. Like the city I'm in now is a great city, Greenville, North Carolina, but I wasn't really finding people that kind of were thinking like I was thinking. I mean, my background's in art and then social work. And they were like, with athletes, I don't know about that. But the more I started connecting on different platforms that were outside of my comfort zone, such at the time, such as LinkedIn, I began to find people across or all around the world. Again, what I'm looking for was waiting for me. And with that, just because you find people who are like-minded or can offer you something different than what you originally imagined, it doesn't mean you should be in business with them. Just because somebody's making a lot of money and they seem like they know this, that person, and that person, you have to really utilize wisdom. And if you're not sure what wisdom looks like, that's another reason a solid circle and a good mentor is beneficial. Again, they have experience and guidance for things you need, So that's what it's been for me. That's the short version.
Short or long version is very inspirational, because a lot of people don't actually talk about
Mm-hmm.
the realness of entrepreneurship, or the realness of the battles that you will face. And I love that you
Mm-hmm.
said, what would you do, or what can you see yourself doing without getting paid for it?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's true. That's very true.
Right.
Like a lot of us that are in, especially in the space that I'm in, we have to work other jobs, or we're just doing it for little to nothing until we get to a point where it's like that. So it's like, what can you imagine doing? I started off making my business, literally, I started off making lip gloss and lipstick, because those things I love. Like, I love
Yeah.
lipstick. I love me a good lipstick, and I love having things that are medicated. So I was making medicated lip gloss, but I was so miserable. Like, people to this day still asking about this freaking lip gloss. My mom was like, "You don't got no more of that stuff you made." I'm like, "No."
I sense a
I'm like,
little hostility. You
oh
okay?
my gosh. I'm like, I just, oh my God, my wrists were hurting so bad. I'm like, if I'm in here in the kitchen cooking up something, it need to be illegal to make me some money. I don't know. But it was like, okay. I had to give it up. So I went through the cycles. Like you just said, like, maybe if I would have started with a beginning of the cycle, but instead I went through a couple different cycles, but I
Oh
just
yeah.
started. At some point I was like, I'm just gonna start. And that's
That's it
what
too.
I did. I
That's
just
it too.
started.
You mentioned a few great things, well, all great things, but a few key things I would say. You said you went through cycles, but you started. So that's the thing. Sometimes we stop and we're just like, oh God, I fail. And then we stop, I fail. I'm a fail. You know, you're not. Stay in the game. Keep it going. The game is not just basketball, it's life, it's your mentality. And it's okay. It's okay. Like sometimes we are our worst critics. We should push ourselves. Absolutely. But pushing and being overly critical, it knocks you out of the game. And you're not competing against other people. You're really competing against yourself. I done got intense and passionate. Start clapping over here.
No,
But
you got me. You was like, "Ooh, stay." I'm like, "Ooh, she talking to me right. She's giving me a lesson." Stay in the game. Get your butt back in. Get your butt.
talk to yourself a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and but you really hit the nail on the head when you said it. Like, so we stop and we think that we're failures, because so many times, and it's like, some people literally will stop and just be like, "Oh, I'm a failure. Never doing this again. Never going back. I'm stopping." That's how I've gotten to certain points of, like, with my dance career. It's like, "Oh, and I
Mhm.
have to catch myself, because no, I'm not a failure, because I am a professional. I
Yes.
am. I'm just not where
Yeah.
I dream to be, but it doesn't mean that I'm a failure." So, like, it's the consistent mind working and talking. But you seem to have this all together. And I want to know,
Do I? Do I?
right. I want to know, is it something that you had to really, like, you still do it for yourself? Or is it like you're at the point where, like, I'm at where I'm at, I'm comfortable with that? How does that go? Because so many people will get on here, and I know some people are like, "Oh no, like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm great," but others will be like, I'm still working on it as well. So, like, what kind of person are you? Do you have it all together? Have you figured it out?
God helps me to keep it together.
Okay.
Indeed, that's really what it is. And am I continually working on things? Yes, because each round goes higher and higher. We're continually evolving. So you're going to have to make adjustments along the way. You're going to have things to try to knock you off your game. And I'm not even talking sports related. When you get to the moment where you're having you're at the place where you dream you always be, or you never had a dream, but you're in a place where you never could have imagined. You have thoughts that come to battle you. It's not always people. It's not always external, things that cause us to kind of get a little rocky in our thinking. Sometimes it's us. Sometimes it's
Mm-hmm.
us. So, do I practice what I preach? I do my very best. I do my best. And what I mean by that is it's a continual cycle of making sure that I'm implementing certain things. For example, in the morning, I say confessions. I've written confessions and affirmations. I appreciate my mentor who has been on me for about 14 years about that. my best friend, she has been doing affirmations since I can remember. And I was just like, okay, you go do that. When you done, I'll be over here. It wasn't my thing. But I realized what we say, we end up, as my pastor would say, we reel it in. We're reeling it in, but you have to keep saying it because you attract what it is you put out and what it is you think internally. And so before you know it, you don't necessarily start off with a feeling. Everybody's different. They may feel good once they say it. If you're like me, you're reading what you wrote, but you're like, all right, well, I did it. I get going. Let me get in my
That's
car.
me.
But as you keep going, you straighten up a little more. You're just like, oh, okay. It's not a feeling. Oh, I didn't say my confession today. I'm tripping. Let me pause right quick while I'm at this light.
Mhm.
Like that is where I'm at now. If for some reason, maybe the fifth alarm, I sleep past that or something, and before I can, I get out the house before I can say my confession or whatnot. I'm saying it as soon as I get a moment because it means that much to me. You don't believe anyone like you believe yourself. We think we believe other people, and we do. They're deposited seeds, whether good or bad. But
Mhm.
then we start thinking on those things, and whatever we believe, that's the direction that our life can head toward. It don't mean it's over. It just means, we get off the path a little bit and we need to be redirected by credible others. Um, would you like me to give you a little more? Did I kind of answer your question?
No, I mean you answered it, but I love hearing part of it is your country's southern accent. And the,
Not
and the
joking.
other
I'm gonna
part
do
of it is that you give it like you're really giving some real life like situations, things, and again, at the end of the day, it's all testimony because it's testimony to
it.
you who you are, but also
Mhm.
we don't know who's going to hear this, and I could probably speak to them because sitting here is like, okay, wow, like, okay, affirmations. And it's so, and I feel the same way because I will do the affirmations and I'll be like, all right, whatever. And like, I literally
Yeah,
have like written down on the wall so I can look up and say, but there is one that I make sure I consistently say over and over again because I want to
right,
make sure that I start to embed in my head like what it is. And it's very simple. It's
right.
literally I can because I do because I can.
Yeah.
That's it.
Something that you remember and that you believe. Something that you
Mhm.
could say even if you didn't look at your phone or whatever, your journal or whatnot. And not only that, you begin to add things to it and adjust it as you move forward in life. Just the other day, I was correcting something because I realized what I had been saying, I now have. And I'm like, okay, wow. All right. But not only do I want it, I want the discipline to be able to maintain it. I want to continue to cultivate it, whatever it is. I
Mhm.
mean, if it's an influx of income, indeed. If it's, new relationships, appropriate, relationships is needed, not only for me, but to pour out whatever it is you want to leave that thing better than it was before it came, or that person.
Absolutely. Have you
Yeah.
done, or what have you done so far that you have maybe affirmed or maybe never thought that you would be there? Something that just really made you take a step back and be like, wow, okay, I'm here.
I want a podcast. I want a podcast. I didn't even necessarily speak that well, not specifically say, hey, God, I want to be on a podcast or you're going to be on a podcast. It was more so like I want business relationships that are intentional and impactful in the most positive ways. It's not, I've never been like a taker. I've always been somebody who want to pour in. The issue was I didn't necessarily know that I couldn't just, it wasn't just enough to serve, although your serving is need, but also you need to be able to know that you belong in certain spaces. Okay. And the only way that other people know you belong is not just because you're running your mouth, it's because of how you carry yourself. And you're not always grabbing at everything that everybody else is grabbing at. Now, you do have to be bold and walk in confidence and seize those moments. But you also have to know, okay, I belong here. Not because of my background, or it could be because of my background. You defy the odds, and other people are waiting on you to get there. And so it's really about doing your best not to blend in. We are unique, and we say that all the time, but we really are, and we have to be able to celebrate the differences. Now, I'm not saying don't work on your craft or work on your mindset. I'm not saying don't work on the negative thinking. A lot of the experiences we've been through help to shape the way we think.
Mhm.
But the affirmations, they really do help. And if people are struggling, to learn that or whatnot, I was. writing down, I will not do da da da, or more so not I will not. This is what I'm going to do. So it's like taking a negative mindset from it and speaking something positive to it. And also just giving thanks, for what's already done. And so it's kind of that. It can sound silly. It did to me, but it's not silly at all. Not when I realize stuff is happening. It's really no different to me in like a vision board, in which I do those too. I kind of need to update mine. I got a little lackadays on that one,
Yeah,
but
what's on
vision
this vision board, Miss Ma'am? What's
board. Well, for one, graduating with my master's, so
See?
that's done. I'm glad about that. Working in the realm of sports, the thing has happened. It's happened like a snowball effect, and so there's just different things up there. But when I was doing it, I was doing it in faith. I was doing it in. I don't know how this is gonna happen, but I'm gonna put it up there. Like really, that's
Yeah,
what
like
it was.
crazy faith,
I
like
I, I
crazy faith.
wanted it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted it. And I'm analytical, by nature, and I like details. I haven't had any details as it relates to this journey.
Have you
I
worked
haven't
with,
had.
oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just
You go.
going to ask, have you worked, because I know you said getting into the sports realm, have you had the ability or had the opportunity to work with any sports teams or any colleges or any, because I know you really focus on the more individual and family, but any individual athletes so far?
Well, that's a part of the desire and goal. I do have
Okay.
something on the horizon. As far as a sports team, I will not, release that just yet, but I will come back to you, Des,
Of
at that
course.
appropriate time. Yes, ma'am. But Dr. M. McGill, he is the founder of Athlete Talk. So I am a chat consultant with that and content contributor. So Athlete Talk is a mental health and wellness app for athletes, specifically collegiate athletes. So that's Dr. Gill's app. And so I met him at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium at the Black Sports Business Symposium. That was completely outside of my comfort zone, but when I got there, it was like my whole world just lit up. I'm just standing like, wow. And so with all those people there, somehow, we end up in the same space. I believe he put something out on LinkedIn a few weeks prior about mental health and social workers. Well, that's me. And so we gathered for dinner, a few others, maybe 15 others, and I believe in building genuine relationships if the other person wants it. Okay. And we
Mhm.
kept in touch over the course of a year. He's a former athlete. He's also from North Carolina. And so he has worked with a lot of different people. So that is in the collegiate realm. Of course, I have kids that I have taught and known, and they're coming into their own, and they trust me as, they know me as Miss Lassiter, the teacher, but their parents trust me and know me and want me to kind of help them along their journey from secondary to, college to pros. Of course, every kid is like, I want to go to the pros. I really believe they can, though, but I don't want them just to have that. You
Yeah.
know, I like to be able to get them to expand their mind. So, yeah.
What is the one thing that you really want people to know about you and your brand? And I think that's so important to have that specific thing. I know that you say what you do, what the brand stands for, but if they could know that the simple, maybe it's more than one thing, what do you really want them to know?
And no matter where you are in life, where you began, how many times you think you have failed, which is really just, a moment for a lesson that you are able to learn, no matter where you find yourself, whether you're a former athlete, an aspiring athlete, um, you sustained an injury, you were divorced, or whatever it is, that's not who you are. You are you. You have a name, and you need to be able to understand that you deserve more than where you're at. And as my I have to give credit, as my pastor would say, life is like a movie. The film is still rolling. So just don't take that moment and think that's it. You may have been paused, may press pause for there, but I want you to know that you can stay in the game. It's not just the title, it's not just the brand. It is who you are and it's your mindset. And you're going to be able to help somebody with that testimony as you keep going. Um, Another one of the things is knowing that when you have won the game, or you've had a tough game, or things are not clicking well with your family, and you're home and it's just you and you're crying, it is okay. It is okay. You People say all the time, you're not alone. You're really not. You're really not. If you knew what it took for me to be up here where I was ecstatic and excited, girl power and all those things, just to know that I'm in a position to be able to say something that can help somebody and inspire somebody and have fun doing it, all those things together was like, you're here, wherever here is for you, raise the bar higher when you're done doing that. And don't be afraid to know that you deserve it, not because of what somebody said about you or what they did not say. You deserve it because you have life. You deserve it. So why not? Why not? Okay.
I agree.
That was
Why
a lot.
not?
It was more than one.
I love it though, because sometimes, listen, sometimes you need more than one. You got to have options, or just literally this and that. You put it together and you'll be on your way to being the successful person that you should be. Okay. I'm a
So can I
transition.
add?
Yes.
Can
Yes.
I
Go
add a
ahead.
business? It is for athletes, but and they're fabulous. But it doesn't just have to be for athletes,
Mm-hmm.
because anybody can stay in the game of life. I want people
Yes.
to be able to feel like they exist for a
Mm-hmm.
reason, and you have to keep going to determine those reasons, or they're already in you. You just can't see it because of your present situation. So that really matters to me, that people understand that they matter. They absolutely matter. And then why I don't have the answer for everybody's journey, some things come just in conversation. I may not even have the answer, but maybe you needed that ear or that laugh, that joke, or whatever it was, that smile. So I just wanted to say that. Okay, back to you guys.
Yeah, you just said something that was really important, because part of this podcast and the reason why I wanted to start it, and my motto for the podcast is winning at the game of life. So
Mm,
yes, it is. Yes, this is, I'm in sports, so naturally it is more of a sports base, but it's
right.
really a life thing. Because I've always felt that anything that you do in sports, it directly correlates to life. If you're playing in
Yeah.
the game, you may win some, you may lose some, you may fall down, you get back up, you work at it until you get it. And life is the same way. It's like, and the playbook, that's why it's called the Pretty Playbook. The playbook is how you win. So your playbook could include affirmations, self-talk, knowing what to do for yourself, having a mentor, having a board of trustees for your life, knowing that you're in it, staying in the game could be something, again, that you're adding to your playbook to be able to continue to keep these, as you say, deposits coming into your life in any positive way. So that's really, like, this brings it all together, like very much full circle, because it is literally what the podcast and the platform is for. It's not about get on here and like, hey, let's talk about sports and let's talk about, anybody got, no, we got enough of that. We got enough
We
of that
can
with
turn
everybody
female
else.
for that, right? We got inside the NBA. We can do that.
Everybody, look, like, I would love to do that. Like, we can do that on Locker Talk, because that's where we do that stuff. But there really isn't a lot of platforms that really are dedicating specific to correlating sports to your actual life. And that's why I'm
Mhm.
like, let's do this. This is what I need. It's like an outlet for people to come. And what I hope that is that one day it will get to, 1 million viewers, and people will be looking in and seeing like, okay, let me add this to my playbook of life. Let me
Yeah,
add that. That sounded great. I need to use this. Let me reach out to her, because she's going to help me stay in this game of life. Because
yeah.
listen, it's
Des,
rolling.
yeah, you have a very diverse background, which qualifies you to reach so many different people. Like if you had not mentioned the army or I hadn't done additional research, I wouldn't have known. But you saying that, it causes a person to perk up even more. So those millions of viewers you will reach. It's. Can you imagine just all the different things? A professional cheerleader, like educated woman, educated Black woman. So that's just great. You said Jamaican roots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
At some point, I got to figure out how to get all of those things into like my,
Playbook.
yeah, in my playbook, and like it really introducing. So I don't know if I'm gonna, like, I don't know if I maybe make a promo video or something, like, here is my playbook, and like just started to tell people like who I am, and how I can relate to them in any way, because I have been in so many different places. Like, I want to do so many different things, and I'm just trying to figure out. I got to figure out how to do that to get to where I want to go. But I do know one place to start was getting people that are in the sports world to talk about sports and life together, because
I have
that's
an
the
idea.
thing.
Yeah, I have an idea.
Oh.
You
Wait,
tell me
we,
we want
we
to.
don't we don't even gotta say it on the podcast. We don't even gotta say it on the podcast, because I need people to know, like, when it comes into fruition, they be like, yeah, and guess where I got this from. Yeah. I definitely need that idea, because I'm pretty sure it's a good one, because you've been given life gems so far here.
Oh, I'm glad to hear. I'm glad I could help. Thank you.
Yes, I love, like I said, I loved what I saw, and when I seen the Instagram post, I'm like, wow, okay, like things that are very catchy to me, like stay in the
Mhm.
game. To me, it's like, okay, stay in the game, but it literally can mean anything. It can mean stay in the game of sports, stay in the game of life. It can mean, stay
You
in
are
the game
married,
and mind your
your
business.
child.
Literally,
Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it can be so many things. So I was like, I gotta talk. I need her. She's the
I
one.
appreciate
She's the one that I need.
that.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes. So I'm going to, before I hop into my fun questions here, is there
Oh, Lord.
anything else that we should add, that we need to put into this, so that way we know that you feel fulfilled in your episode of this podcast? Because like I said, this is literally figuring out, and not even figuring out, because we're just doing
Yeah.
it and winning at the game of life. So is there anything I did not cover or did not touch on that you want to add to this before we hop into the fun stuff?
Well, I will say everything has been great. I want to add that I believe in providing psychoeducation, for coaches, the higher ups. It's not just about the individual services and athlete child and spouse athlete services, but it's also about just providing that education so that we can try to, cut down the stigma that's attached to mental health. Because the players will perform better. They love their sport. I'm assuming that's why most do it. Yes, they also want to get paid for their sport, but there's a passion to be out there winning, right? So being able to educate those who have their best interests at heart, hopefully, so that they can push them behind the scenes, because there may not be enough therapists on staff, to be able to assist them in that manner. They may not have a mentor. They just may need additional support. So coaches, any type of individual that has that direct communication with that athlete, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you stay in the game so your athlete can continue to perform at the optimum level. Yeah.
And how would they get in touch with you if they hear this episode? I'm also probably going to put it in the caption when I do present your episode on the show. How do they get in contact with you to be able to work with you?
That's a great question. So you all can go to stayinthegame.com, that's stay in the letter N, thegame.com /services. And then you can see our individual sessions that you can click on to request an appointment. Or if you just have a question, you can scroll down to inquiries and you can click, if you're a coach, if you're a teacher, if you're a parent, if you're the athlete, you'll click that and it'll send me an email and I will respond within 48 hours.
All right. So you know how to get in contact with her now. We don't want to hear no excuses.
Yeah, so
Okay.
there's Facebook and there's Instagram. So yeah.
Yep. Facebook, Instagram, their biggest engines to do it, but also do it the right way. Go to that website and
Absolutely.
scroll on down and ask your questions and book your appointments. I love that. I'm gonna be booking my appointment too.
Um,
Keep me in the game. Just keep me here. I'm already in. Keep me. Okay. I'm gonna ask some little fun questions just to get to know you a little bit, to see your preferences here. A lot of this I
okay.
like to do is called this or that. I say it's really not meant for you to like super hardly think about it. Whatever first pops into your mind, you can just say it. I normally start with a really silly one. So my first silly one is always like, do
I'm
you
nervous. I'm nervous, This. Okay.
well, you already said is basketball over football, so that you kind of already started the game.
Okay.
But do you prefer breakfast or lunch?
That's funny.
I say,
Both.
don't
And then,
think, don't think,
yeah,
don't think
it's
too
both.
much.
Because then I eat my lunch for breakfast sometimes. I don't make it till lunch.
So
Okay.
so
So
lunch. So lunch. Like for
brunch.
me, I can eat breakfast, brunch. Okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. You got me. Because most people be like, they say one or the other. I mean, I believe I can eat breakfast at any meal of the day. So you ask me, do you want French toast? I absolutely do. If it's 2 a.m., I want French toast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What what is your top three songs or artists that you have that really keeps you in the game?
This is gonna be seen all over the world, huh?
Yeah, look, this is I tell people this is like we like Planet Fitness over here. This is the no judgment zone, okay? Don't try to
Got
sue me,
you.
Planet Fitness, because I ain't got it.
I'll name the artist just so I won't, mess up the song. I'm grew up in the church, so old school Kurt Franklin. I'm just old school
Okay,
Kurt Franklin. He look like he
okay,
has not aged, but he still got that energy. Meg the Stallion gets me hyped too. I don't know. She's got that,
okay.
she gets it going. My
Hot girl
third one.
summer.
Yeah. No. Um, gosh, what is my third one? I guess you just got to be ready, huh? Mm, let's see. I don't have a third one right now. Oh, Lecrae. Yes.
Okay, so
You know
gospel
Lecrae?
rap. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Love
I love
Lecrae.
him. Yeah, my favorite
Yeah.
song. I literally did not know it was a Christian rap song. One of my audition videos, the song was Coming in Hot. And I was like, what
Mhm.
song is this? So I had to put it on my TV because we had to do virtual. So I had to put it on my TV for it to play so I can
Right.
dance, so it can play in the background. It was just too much. It was too much going on. But when I was having like Coming in Hot, I'm like, who is this by? I had to look it up. I'm like, and I'm like, who is a Lecrae? Who is La and Cray? Like, what is going on?
Right.
And
Right.
and then
He's
I
amazing.
Googled, right? I
Yeah.
Googled, I'm like, oh, he's amazing. So I literally at that moment I downloaded his albums and I listened to it,
Mhm.
and a lot of them are on my like rotating albums list. So yeah, he's really good. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Woo. Okay. Sweating. I
Okay.
need a rag.
All right.
Okay.
Beyonce or Rihanna?
Beyonce.
Okay. You didn't even hesitate with that one. You didn't even think about that one. That
I
was
have a
easy.
little Rihanna, but Beyonce.
Okay. Okay. Are you a heels girl or a sneakers girl?
I love the way I look in heels, but I'm a sneakers girl.
Really? Okay. What's your favorite sneaker?
Uh, gosh, gosh. Mm. Because there's so many, I'm just going through Rolodex in my mind. It's real simple because I just recently bought another pair of Chuck Taylors. So right now, I know it's not what you envision. I
Okay.
know just what we're
Okay.
looking here.
No,
Um,
I didn't have it. I'm like, okay, because if you would have asked me, I'm like, I would have had to think about it too because I love Nike Dunks. And
yeah,
a lot of this, I wear kid size shoes, so I can get away with a lot of different other little shoes. I can get away with more.
I can't.
So I'm like, I have these. I have like the right now. I think my favorites would be the triple pinks that I have.
Okay.
The triple pink Nike Dunks that I have. That's probably my favorite. My second favorite would probably be the LeBrons that I have. His very
Yeah,
first round of LeBrons came out,
yeah.
and I got me a pair, and they just the best. Like I love the straps. I'm like a child. Like why do I need straps
See,
on
when
my?
I get off this, I'm gonna go and look up some things because I need to expand my sneaker game, but clearly I said Chuck Taylors, they're cool, they can go with any outfit. But
They
now
can though.
they can, thank you for that. I'm an old school Scottie Pippen fan, probably because we share the same birthday, right? September 25th. Had to throw that out.
Oh,
But also Scotty had said air on the side. I just love those. Yeah, I would rock them
yes.
even today.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
you still can actually like the retro sneakers, they have made their way that like just all the retros. Now, see, I
Yeah.
love Dennis Rodman because I feel like he's just like an out there person. He's like the personality that I just want to have. Like, I feel like we're best friends. In my mind, he is my best friend, right? And he's just like, he gets me to do the things that I probably should not be doing, but I'm probably gonna do anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm waiting for somebody to literally. I'm about to have to make it myself like a Dennis Rodman shirt or something because I promise you, like I love that man. I don't even
I love it. Dennis is needed. He's essential. I'm gonna tell you. The
right.
Bulls. which was the team we love those. I mean, you walk in my parents' home, frame pictures of the Bulls, flags of the Bulls, Scottie Pippen, Jordan everywhere. It's just yeah. You done
Yeah.
got me talking about that now, so we'll go back.
I should have worn my Chicago Bulls shirt. I went to a Chicago Bulls basketball game, and I love Chicago. I love downtown Chicago. It's just something about it. It's just beautiful to me. I've been when it's been hot. I've been when it's been dirt cold. Like I don't know why I was there, and I bought a hat because it was so cold. It said Chicago. It's so cute. It's white and pink. And I was still freezing. Like I'm like this. Hello,
So I'm
but I
gonna
went
be
to the
cute for you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I can't. I got to go inside. But I went to the Bulls game and it was playing the Celtics.
Mm,
And I'm like, I'm in Chicago, I'm at the Bulls game. I got to get a Chicago Bulls sweatshirt. I'm a sweatshirt girly. So
right.
that's gonna be my next question for you. But I love sweatshirts. So I was like, I gotta get a Chicago sweatshirt. So I end up getting, and because again, I'm not a super I feel like I'm a big person, and I think dance has made me feel a bit like I'm a big person, but I'm actually not. So I end up getting I think even a boys or a male size, like small, extra small sweatshirt because they had the one I wanted. The female
Right.
version of it, they didn't have no female version of it. So I was like, I'm going to get a boys. And
Yeah.
it's one of the best. You could probably sit on one of my pages when I went to the Bulls game, or I might just try to repost it or something.
Yeah. And I'm a
Cutest
comment.
it's the cutest Bulls sweatshirt. And everybody kept asking me, where'd you get it from? Where'd you get it from? I'm like, I got it from downtown Chicago, but it's not a
Mhm.
female sweatshirt. It is a male sweatshirt. So pick and choose wisely. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know, you know?
Sometimes those are the best, the hottest as far as like looks. You rock a sweatshirt that's not female, you just get the most compliments on
Mhm.
that. So
Literally,
yeah.
like it takes me being a man's clothes for me to get compliments. Now that's crazy.
That is not what I was saying, but okay, we'll go with that. That's funny.
I mean,
Yeah,
okay,
I got it.
hoodies, hoodies or sweatshirts.
Oh, give me a hoodie, because then I could put on my hat and it's a whole different style, have my hair out. Yeah. Hoodie.
Okay. Hoodie. See, I don't like pulling anything over my head.
I love it because if I want to be incognito, I can do that. But you ain't really hiding, but you
I'm
feel like
with you. I'm with you when you're right. I am. But the fact of the matter is, I normally have makeup or something on, and I got to pull it over, and then I just be looking a hot mess express. I would rather me be able to put it on and zip it up.
got you. Got you.
I
Okay.
don't even like hoods. So I don't even know why
What
I don't like hoods. Like when people give me things with hoods on, I'm like, did you expect me to wear this thing? What am I gonna
I'm
do
gonna
with
get you a hood for Christmas, okay? A Chicago Bulls hood, okay?
Oh man.
Hoodie.
Now I'm gonna have to wear it for real. I feel like
And I want to
it,
see a picture.
okay. Because
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna make it
Stay in
work.
the
We'll
game,
make it
Dad.
work.
Stay in the game. You can do it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. You said you like food. You like food. You're a foodie.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Mexican or Italian?
Depends on the day, but I can get with a good Mexican restaurant. It has to be
Okay.
a good Mexican restaurant now.
Okay, we got heavy on the good Mexican.
Yeah.
What foods do you really enjoy? Like when people say they're a foodie, like some people are, I know for me, I've changed. Like I'm more of a sweets person, but I don't do dairy and I don't do lots of sugar. So it's kind of like they're like, how you sweets? Because I get into it. Right. So like what type, what type of foodie are you? Do you like, are you more of like pastas, pizzas, like, or is it a
Um,
certain
I love
scene?
seafood. I love seafood, and then of course chicken. You can cook that at least 250 different ways. So definitely seafood. Fried seafood, boiled seafood, depending on the mood I'm in. Chicken. My grandma said chicken was my first word. I don't understand. I thought it was daddy, but we're gonna go with chicken. Uh, everything else, it literally depends on do I have a taste for it. So
Okay.
I have no issue going to a restaurant by myself. That's not an issue for me.
Me
For one,
either.
you get a little bit quicker. So there's that part, right? And then you get, if you go during a certain time of day, it just makes it worth it. I'm there to enjoy the food and the ambiance. If I happen to run into somebody with great company, that's fine, but that's not my purpose for being there. I literally used to just travel for food. I have cut down on that a whole lot. And then I would take other people out just so they can experience the food that I had so I can go eat again. I know
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I cook.
But no, you're a true foodie. Where's your favorite place that you've traveled for food?
um, well,
Some people
probably is
like
the two.
some people like
Go
New
ahead.
Orleans. Some people like, some people
Uh.
like when I
Now,
went
I
to
didn't
when I went to Italy, where have you
Yeah.
been?
Oh, God, see, there's this. Wait, we're gonna have to talk off of this because if I travel away to Italy just for food, and that's amazing. That's a whole nother thing. Though. I might need to get one of my services if I'm doing that. But no, what I just mean travel food. I'm sitting here, I'm just like, okay, it's like 4 o'clock. What time the Capitol Grill open? I think I'm gonna drive an hour and 15 minutes to go to Capitol Grill. So something like that. Or Charlotte. I think Charlotte's 3.5 hours. So I'll hit up a good seafood food truck in a minute. But again, that may not always be the reasonable thing to do. So, it
Okay.
was an every week thing at one point. So now it's like a once every 2 months thing.
Yeah. See,
Discipline,
okay.
discipline.
That's very true. Discipline has to come in part of that because I mean, but food is so good. And when we speak of discipline, I have to be disciplined because for whatever reason, I now love Whataburger. I don't eat red meat though. So when I go to Whataburger, I'm getting the chicken option. I barely eat chicken though. But when I do I allow myself to eat chicken because I mainly only eat seafood. But if
Hmm.
I do eat some chicken, it's like, okay, I go to Water. I'm like, oh, I'm going to Whataburger and they have the honey barbecue chicken sandwich. I have to get it without the cheese. But the honey barbecue chicken sandwich, I'm like, oh, I need this with the spicy jalapeno ketchup for the fries. And now I'm doing, and the thing is, I did not used to live near a Whataburger. Now where I live at, they actually put one, I think maybe 5 minutes, and they did it horribly because I'm a Dunkin' junkie. So the Whataburger is literally right across the street from the Dunkin'. I said, why would y'all do me like that, man? Why would you do me like that? So like now I have to be
What
like,
idea what Whataburger is? Like, is a chain restaurant?
it is a chain restaurant. You've never seen the what? Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to get together and
Let's
I'm
do that.
gonna go to
So
Whataburger. But it's literally they just their logo is a whole bunch of like W's. They're orange W's. It's like three or four W's, and I mean, I don't know how the burgers are because I don't eat meat.
right,
But what I can
right.
tell you is I've cheated on my stomach and I've done a shake and the shake was, oh my gosh, like I thought Checkers had the best banana shake. No,
Hmm.
the
No.
strawberry shake and
Hmm.
from Whataburger is just like phenomenal. So we're gonna have a Whataburger day. It may not seem that it might be so minute,
I
but
will fly wherever you are to get some Whataburger.
you
I
know,
don't know.
you won't even have to fly because we're not that far apart. I know you said where you are, but we might have stalkers on here, so I can't
Okay,
tease.
yeah. So we'll wait. Wait. Got you.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Let me ask one more before, I'm gonna let you go because I know I'd be like, oh, I'm only gonna keep you for an hour. And
I've enjoyed my time.
I get the talking and we'd be on here for 2 hours. You're like, Des, I did not agree to be on here for 2 hours. Like, my bad.
You taking me to Whataburger afterwards.
Hop in a car. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ooh, I feel like there's
Mhm.
so many of like these this or that questions to ask.
Mhm.
Okay, maybe that's not the last one, but when you were an athlete, did you like long shorts or short shorts?
Mhm. I wore long shorts. It may be weird. I had this tomboyish thing going on. You grew up
Okay.
around all males. Well, I had one female cousin, but she wasn't really playing. She played volleyball, which is great. I failed at that. So but it was okay. But yeah, it was definitely long shorts. Yep. I used to borrow my cousin's shorts. There, Georgetown, Jersey, borrow my brother's. It'd be like, what are you doing? I just felt like I played better. I don't know what it was. But now it's short shorts whenever I do go out. So yeah.
Okay. Who wears short shorts? Okay. All right. No, we gotta get a list of your favorite teams. So it could be whatever sports that you actually enjoy.
Mhm.
We can do football, basketball. If you like any other sports, if you're a MLB,
Mhm.
NHL, like I'm a hockey girl. I love hockey. People think that I'm
Yeah.
crazy. I love hockey. I told somebody on my last podcast, I'm like, I want to be the black girl in hockey. And I don't think people quite understand my seriousness. Like there's so many women of color and
I want to hear more about
football.
it.
Yeah, like so many people in football and women in football and basketball. I'm like, I want to be in hockey. And people are like, Yeah, hockey.
So, Des, what is it about hockey that you enjoy?
For me, hmm, I didn't actually fall in love with hockey until I was a like I used to like hockey because my
Yeah.
grandmother used to take me. So any sports I used to you do or watch with my grandmother is like a old pastime.
Mhm.
Um, but I always liked hockey, but I just felt afraid to say that I liked hockey for whatever reason because nobody around me ever did. But then when I became a
Right.
hockey cheerleader, I fell even more in love with it, and I was in the environment. So I fell in love at first with the environment, and then being able to
Mhm.
watch the sport. I think the sport is freaking spectacular. Like their level of athleticism is insane. They are
Oh,
skating, hitting a puck, keeping eye coordination, doing defense, switching, sometimes doing offense to get this small little puck into a goalie. And it reminds me of soccer because when I was in middle school up into high school, I played soccer. So is hockey is just like soccer on ice. So I've always loved those type of physicality of the sports. Most people are like, oh, I love hockey because they be fighting. I'm like, well, 95% of the time they're not fighting. But if you watch what they do, it's freaking fun. It's phenomenal. Like this man is skating, they're skating 30 miles per hour or maybe faster, and they're swinging this puck and they're getting in it and it's going like 80, 90 miles into the net. Like it's just phenomenal. Like their hand-eye coordination is just something that I aspire to have. I will probably never ever have it. And it's just like their level of athleticism, level of competitiveness is
right.
just elite. And then again, being in that environment, I get to see like, wow, this environment is pretty dope. It's cold as all get out, but it's dope.
You can, yeah, it's cold, but you can still rock your hat and jersey or sweatshirt, whatever you want to do.
Exactly. It's a cute
Yep.
little thing. Like, you put on a cute little outfit with your cute little pants and wear some boots. I'm a boots girl too. I love a good boot. All
Yeah.
football season I wear boots. Very
Mhm.
rarely would you see me in a different type of shoe, but I feel like a boot, I can have a nice boot, keep my toes covered so my toes aren't out necessarily because I don't really like to have my
Mhm.
feet out while I gotta walk around doing stuff.
Mhm.
But I can have a heel on it. And I feel like boots are the most like proportionate heel to height ratio. I don't know what it is, but I love a good boot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to thank you for giving your perspective on hockey. Sometimes we just naturally gravitate toward other things. Other times we learn to do it. Other times we cheer people on because they love to do it. And so I like what you explained. I think you may have swayed me to attend a hockey game with my fur coat
We
and boots.
we should go to a Canes game live.
Mm,
I'm actually been thinking about by the time this episode come out, I'm either going to be on the team or I'm not. But I thought about joining the Canes crew because I'm like, I love like literally I was a hockey cheerleader for now 2 different teams. So like it really is. Hey man, I tell you I'm like I like NBA and all that stuff, but if I'm going to be a cheerleader, I want to be either NHL or NFL. Like that's where I want to be. I would
right.
definitely love to be an NBA cheerleader dancer. I would love that. Don't get me wrong. But if we're talking about me being in a sport that I actually do like wholeheartedly really care
Mm,
about, that's it. Like I watched the Stanley Cup just as much as I watched, NFL playoffs going into the Super Bowl. You
right.
know, I don't cover it as much right now. I cover the concept. I don't cover it as much as now because my fan base right now is not a hockey fan base. But once I start to get my hockey people more in here and I can pull them in, my content will be very, very hockey heavy. I just got to figure out
Yeah,
how to get us people of color to be more into hockey. So
yeah,
that's my navigation because there are people of color that like hockey. They're few and far in between. But
yeah,
I want to get more people to really
yeah.
love. Maybe they
Bring that.
won't love it how I love it, but
Yeah, of course not. Nobody could beat
enjoy
you
it.
at doing. No, no, really. I love that. And again, I have something to share with you later that may help with that. So yeah, yeah.
Yes. But
I
we're going
definitely be in with you. But go ahead.
yeah, no, I heard you. You're gonna be in with me. I heard you. But I'm not getting away. I still want to get your teams because I need to know this. I have to know. I have to know
I want
if I'm
to
talking
too.
with the enemy.
That is so funny. Okay. Okay. So my favorite team, that's what you asking me.
Who's your favorite basketball team?
The Golden State Warriors.
Oh, Chef Curry over there. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
shaking and moving going on, but it's still there.
Yeah, they've disseminated a lot. Clay's gone. They was a powerhouse when they had Clay, Durant, all of them. So okay.
I always be a Bulls fan at heart. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Derrick Rose. Again, 90s Bulls, but it's the Warriors. Now, I'll go to
Okay.
any game and help any player, just so we know. Let's make that clear. And I
We're,
will
we're, we're
cheer.
not exclusive over here to who we help. We help everybody.
When I'm with you, but I'm just saying, you asked. So, okay.
How did you become a Golden State Warriors fan, though? I'm curious. I thought I was gonna let you
Damn.
go. I lied because I'm asking more questions.
Okay, we here. I think it's the energy, the fun, the excitement that they played with. They were laughing. I mean, there were some other things that were taking place, but they were laughing and things of that nature. And yes, Steph, but I didn't just follow him on the court. Off the court, from all I could see, with his wife and kids, and he really just loves the game. He makes it fun, and
Mhm.
I mean, I'm watching on TV, feeling like I'm there. Of course, it's a different feeling, but it wasn't just Steph. All the other players, in fact, this really matters. Steve Kerr is an added bonus because he played with the Bulls, so I really can't get away from that connection.
Yeah,
And then that they had was so close to the Bulls. It just made sense. It just made sense.
yeah. I love that. I mean, hearing you speak about seeing that they're having fun and like you feel like you're there. That's a lot of environments do not know how to have that and to feel that way. So I love that.
Right.
Okay, so we got Golden State Warriors over here. What about football?
Dallas Cowboys.
Professional. Oh Lord. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not swaying on that, but now I have a couple runner ups, but Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, my mom is a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. I feel like
Oh,
sometimes I know more about the Cowboys than I do about my own team because I talked with my mom about it.
who's your team?
I'm a Steelers fan. So we definitely
Okay.
we play each other October the 6th. So that's the week of my birthday. So I feel
Yeah.
like I wanted to go to the game, but it looks like I have to work that day, but I might have
It looks like you have
I
to
was
work.
trying to tell my mama, I was like, Mama, this is the perfect situation
Right,
for us. You can wear your
right.
cowboy stuff. I'm gonna wear my Pittsburgh stuff. And we like, we're just,
Oh,
now if they lose, I'm gonna be a little pissed off. I ain't gonna hold you. We
it's
might,
okay. We'll get you
you know.
some. What's that place? Whataburger. Just get you some
Yeah.
food.
Okay. So Cowboys, is that something that's in your family? Because you live in North Carolina. So I would think that you would be a Panthers fan. But I know that the Panthers weren't always there, but I would think that you'd be a Panthers fan.
It was in my family. I was in my family. So along with those frame Bulls pictures or whatnot, team pictures was also the Cowboys. And then one year, I believe the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, and then of course the Bulls won the championship. So it was just then we didn't get anything from them winning, but the pure joy that we had in the last of the household was just amazing. So my dad was an Emmett Smith fan. Um, so many others that are slipping my mind right now.
So they
I
they
have the
have
face.
so many great. They have so many greats. It's a
Yeah,
whole
Michael
bunch of
Irvin. We
them.
could just go Troy Aikman. Now they're coming to me. They're rolling out. Okay.
Yes. Okay. I think that's the thing too. Like before, like back in the day, like my mom said it too. Like, a lot of times people were fans of the people that were on those teams, and because they stayed and had longevity on those teams, they naturally became fans. And once you're there, you're like, you just stay. And that's kind of how I
Yep.
was. Like my grandma was a fan. She was a Miami Dolphins fan, and then later on in her life, she became a Steelers fan. We used to watch Steelers games together. That's how I became a Steelers fan. My grandmother's no
Yep.
longer with me, so that I'm not swinging on that. That's not going nowhere. Anything that
Right.
my grandmother has embedded into me, it stays. So when some people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh, you a Steelers fan?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a Steelers fan." What's up? Because because outside of a few other franchises like the Cowboys, now the Patriots have it now with the whole Tom Brady era. But outside of those other there's only a handful of other teams that actually have real loyalty, legacy fan bases and that are really new and true. So
Right.
I'm not going nowhere, sweetheart. You want me to be a fan of somebody? Because absolutely not. That's not how
Yes.
it works.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Do
Okay.
you do you do any MLB teams? Do you do any? We
I
know your new
have not.
Oscar. We know that.
No, well, you got to do me like that because it's good that you can introduce me to I'm different, Des. Come on.
I know.
MLB, I like the Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
I also like how I look in their hats. There's that.
Okay. But
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. It's not right there in the South. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I think Atlanta is the team of the little of the southern region outside of Florida. So like the Georgia, North Carolina doesn't have a team. North Carolina, South Carolina, so yeah, it's like that. Unless you like the Nationals, if you're at the higher part of the North, then you like
Right.
the Nationals. Okay, okay,
Right.
I can do with that. Do you like
Yeah.
any college teams? Any college football or basketball teams?
Female. Oh my God. I'm a huge Don Staley fan. Goodness. So yeah, definitely love the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Okay.
Um, there's a few others. LSU, of course. So those are, I would say, my top two. I know I should say UNC is great. I do watch them, but there's always the rivalry. Don't do that. She doesn't get scratching. UNC and Duke. I watch that, but I'm gonna tell you, Don Staley and Cynthia Cooper were out there when everybody was just like, oh, there's not gonna be a women's team, and then there was. So it's kind of what I hone into.
Yeah. I mean, I figured, well, should have figured that the WNBA, I didn't ask about your favorite WNBA or your current, at least like most likely WNBA team. Well, we can get into that. But you said that you wanted to go into the WNBA when you were, when you were younger. So it makes sense that you have seen these women become even greater women. I love Dawn Staley. We ride for Dawn at Dawn. Like that's what we do.
Yeah,
So, so I love that. I love that answer because I just, it just makes sense
yeah.
to me in terms of college. The WNBA team that you follow?
Yeah, Chicago Sky. Teresa Witherspoon's doing an amazing job amongst a lot of others. That's gonna be a Las Vegas Aces, definitely. I will watch all WNBA, but those teams are really highlighted for me.
Okay. It makes sense that Chicago thing. I love how it's like true basketball is like true to Chicago. That's your shot town.
And
Okay. Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, okay, I guess I'm gonna stop talking now. So what I'm gonna do is say last words, last words. I did this before when I asked my interviewee three things that they feel as though that they can give to other people so that way they can win the game of life. So, what are your three things that you could give to somebody?
Whatever room you walk in, please be yourself. Know who you are before you get there. Know that your way of thinking is needed, even if they give you the stiff face. Know
Mm.
that you belong there, and you have a purpose, several purposes, but you definitely have a purpose. Have fun while you're doing it. Notice the subtle changes within yourself that keep you going and motivated. Um, in doing that, make sure you take time for self care. And people say that, but really, if your thing is going to the movies, before the kids get out of school, even though we love kids, go do that. If your thing is, I don't know, going to a restaurant, do that. If it's going to the park, I just want you to do something that caters back to you. Okay, so as much as we pour out, we need to also pour in. So yeah, and travel for food. That always is good.
Yay. Thank you so much for coming on this episode. We definitely have to get you on here again once, you get that team thing. We get you on here to talk about it a little bit more. But I really do appreciate you taking the time to sit and chat with me.
Welcome. I have one more thing. Can I share?
You sure can.
Appreciate you giving me this extra minute, Des. You're so kind. So my business as well as myself will being featured in a magazine. It's already out. By the time you hear this, it'll be out. Also, the magazine is significance in athletics and sports. And so I have an article that I have written. So Stay in the Game is being featured. And you can purchase that magazine on my website at stayinthegame.com/support. So I look forward
Yes.
to signing.
Yay. Yay. And also send if you have any graphics for that, send it. I would love to be able to post it on social media because part of what I do as well. If you're taking time to be on my platform, then I want to make sure I take the time to support your platform in whatever way that I can. So send that to me. Let's put it up, and this hopefully some other people can get you some support, and I can get you even on the story, do some links. Because it's not about the followers, it's about the reach. And I have a pretty good reach so far. I've been growing over time. So yeah, I would love to put that on there for you because we need to support each other. So I'm glad that we did this. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl.